After 12 years in interior design, I realized that most of this job has very little to do with what they teach you at the university. And this job is not what you imagine when you're studying. Most of interior design is not just about design. Interior design can give you much more than what is taught at the university or formal education or whatever. Today, I want to share a realistic view of this industry based on my 12 years of experience in Milan and working in different roles with international clients and projects. So let's begin. So when I was studying interior design at Politecnico di Milano back in 2013, I truly believed that if I became, really good at aesthetics, concepts, mood boards, and software, for example, everything else would work out naturally. I remember that I thought that if my ideas, were strong, if my renderings were beautiful, I would leave university and immediately know what to do and how to do it. But no, it's really different than this. So real life doesn't work like that. Reality is much messier than theory. And I believe that we need to normalize this because once you understand what's really out there, you can move through this career much more smoothly than I did, and than many of the people I know, people I worked with or studied with. So the real world brings real challenges. You have to learn how to deal with clients' needs or bosses' expectations, how to deal with budgets, with suppliers, and many people are actually involved in this process. So you start having real expectations placed on you. So you face uncomfortable, for example, money conversations. You feel like you need to prove your competence and your value. So you slowly start building credibility in this industry, and you realize that interior design is much more complex than what formal education prepares you for. It's much more complex. So this video exists to show you that complexity and help you navigate it. So let's talk about reality versus theory. So what is the difference? For example, at the university, everything looks so clean. Deadlines are exams, budgets are imaginary. People follow a clear plan. In real life, nothing is clear. Someone is always late. Something is always missing. Mistakes happen. So here's the first big reality check. So most of your job is not designing. Sounds strange. So what you actually spend most of your time doing is managing clients' needs or bosses' expectations, budgets and prices and suppliers and logistics timelines, people on site. So design actually happens inside all of this. So if you imagine interior design as only like choosing materials and creating concepts, this profession will feel heavy very quickly to you. So, but when you understand that your role is to manage complexity, is to manage all of this, everything become much lighter and like clearer because now you know what the job actually is. And when you know, I believe when you know what you're dealing with, so like your enemy, you can face it, you can observe it, and you can take the responsibility for it. So yeah, it's simple. So inside all of this, one skill starts to be really important. And no, it's not software. You can learn software. There are countless software courses online. And it's definitely not the taste. Clients don't choose you only because of your taste. So taste is also a subjective topic. So it's communication. It means learning how to speak with clients, with your boss, for example, with people on site, and with suppliers. So all people that makes this journey. But also it means learning how to listen, how to really, really listen. And active listening is one of the, I would say, like one of the most underestimated skills in this industry. Most people listen to reply, not to understand really. So active listening means paying attention to what people say, how they say it, what they repeat, what they avoid, for example, and what they struggle to express clearly. This is really important if you work with, for example, residential on residential projects and private clients. So when projects go wrong, it's rarely because of design quality. It's usually because of miscommunication. Clients, for example, feel misunderstood. They don't understand why you made certain decisions. You don't know how to explain to them. So they don't see the value behind this. behind your work. So when people don't understand, they don't feel safe enough to fully trust you. So your job is not just to design. Your job is to listen deeply, ask back better questions, and notice, what's behind the words. Most of the useful information is hidden between the lines. And you also need to learn how to explain your decisions. It's all about explaining yourself. So in a way that makes people feel safe, and they actually then start to trust you because they know what you're offering. So people don't need perfect designs, designers, they need clarity, and someone they can trust with their money, for example, with their time, and also energy. So I would say that this applies whether you're working in a company or start working in a company, or you start working with private clients. Just simple active listening is one of the, I would say, like one skill that nobody teaches you really. You need to work on this by your own. So next, reality check. Clients don't hire you to decorate. This is really important, guys. Like, really important. They hire you for your expertise, for your knowledge, for your ability to solve problems, for your ability to bring clarity, for example, to help them make decisions, to guide them through, process, complex process, because it's a really long process sometimes. So they need this clarity. And also, I would say they hire you to save their money, their time, their energy. So this is what clients and companies actually really pay you for. This is the value you bring to the table. So just remember this when you apply, for example, for a new job, or I don't know, you negotiate with the client, because it's easy to fall into belief that you're just decorating. No, no, no. When you're understand this, your relationship with money and with your own value, like, really changes. So you stop simply underpricing yourself. You start to value your work because you finally see what you're actually offering. And yes, you're also selling. Even if that word makes you uncomfortable, because probably you see like sales like some manipulative process, but selling is actually much more, and I speak a lot about this in my mentorship program. So from the moment you start designing something, you're also selling. You're selling your ideas to clients, you sell your process to suppliers, you sell your way of making decisions. But selling here, as you can see, is not about pressure. It's not like manipulation. It's about making things understandable. It's about guiding people through decisions with clarity and real competence. When you bring clarity, you build trust. And when you build trust, projects flow much better, trust me. And when projects flow better, people simply just start recommend you in this industry. So it's really simple. That's how growth really happens in this profession. You also need to learn how to explain, for example, your decisions in a way that people truly understand them. Like why you're doing something. Okay, so people don't need perfect designers. There are many good designers in this world, guys. Like, I worked in Milan. There's so many. Like everybody's good, but clients usually don't, most of the time, not choose you because you're like, wow, I don't know. They choose you because they can trust you. They can trust your decisions. They can, this one is really important. They can trust you with their money and their time because you enter in their like private space. So, and I would say that this one is really important for both. Like, if you start, for example, working in a company who believes you're in your your talent at the very the beginning, or with for example private clients. So it's a huge topic. So here's another thing I would mention that is really important that no university teaches you is, for example, communication on site. Simple, really simple, because your work also includes working with people on site. So clarity doesn't stop with clients. The people on site, for example, bring your ideas to life with real materials, like real deadlines and their own expertise. So if communication is poor or respect is missing, quality drops. If communication, for example, is clear and respectful, quality grows really fast. So people do their best work when they feel respected. Interior design is not only about what you draw. Execution is just as important as the idea itself. So your work lives in how well you collaborate with the people who make your ideas real. When you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, Yeah, you realize something simple but really powerful. It's really powerful. Interior design is about people, not just spaces, not your personal taste, and I would say not your ego either. So people invest their money, their time, and most importantly, they trust in you. So respect that. I would say it's really important to build a sustainable career. This is how you start to build a network in this career. So remember this. So finally, I would say like interior design, it's like a long-term game. You need like a sustainable approach to it. You have like to have like a long-term game because it's all about this, like building relationships, building network, respect your clients, your suppliers, your the site workers. So just keep this in mind. It's much bigger than just one idea. It's like network. So and if you think about in this way, it's like a win-win game because your expertise gives something to the clients, and your your ability to solve problems, all the things that I mentioned, and also the clients, of course, they're happy if you can like make beautiful projects and all this way, like solve a lot of problems, and I don't know, like dealing with negotiations with their suppliers. Oh my god, they're really happy to pay for you for this because they don't want like this all this shit like on the way. So for sure you're important in this process, so keep this in mind. Okay guys, this is the first part of this video. I will speak more about this topic in the next one, and if you like my videos, please follow me. I share a lot of useful information inside, and see you in the next video.